What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of TranQuality. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Anthony. I am Megan's husband. I will be your host this evening. Megan is laid up right now. A couple weeks ago, she had her appendix taken out. It had almost ruptured, but they got it out in time, so she's okay, but she's recovering. Matter of fact, she's right here beside me. Say hi, Megan.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, she's pretty. Now, so the theme of this channel is living with cerebral palsy. Specifically, Megan has spastic diplegic cerebral palsy. So on this channel, we talk about the physics of it. We talk about the mechanics of it, how to overcome obstacles, how to improve your quality of life. But we also want to talk about the personal side of it. So today we're going to talk a little bit about relationships. Now, typically our target audience is young people living with cerebral palsy. Typically people high school age, I would say, or even middle school. Talk about what their life's going to be like, what it is like now. So if you're a young person living with cerebral palsy, let's not beat around the bush. If you have a noticeable disability like this, your personal relationships are probably going to be lacking. I mean, you're at school, you're getting picked on, you're surrounded by people who don't understand you. Anyone out there who might even be somewhat interested in you, they're under peer pressure to dislike you, and you're afraid of being a burden on everyone else. So, I mean, kids are cruel. And even Megan's teachers didn't know what to do with her. I mean, she was getting picked on. They didn't know how to handle it. It wasn't a good situation.
Yes, and by no means, are we picking on anybody. Like he said, I've gone through this myself.
But yeah, let's just put it out there now. I mean, your interpersonal relationships, they're going to be difficult. But as you can see, I mean, there are people with cerebral palsy that, they get married, they have, normal, happy lives. So, yeah, I'm a man who is married to a woman with cerebral palsy. We do exist, we are out there. So I mean, I guess she could have done worse. I mean, I guess I'm a decent guy. I've got a full-time job. I don't have a criminal record. So, I mean, she tells me I'm attractive, so I mean, I guess she could have done worse.
You're very attractive.
Thank you. And you're very pretty. I love you, Pookie. But anyway, so what attracts a guy like me to a woman who is disabled? Well, there's not really an answer for that. I mean, it's not like there's a lot of guys out there who date disabled women simply because they are disabled. I mean, the things that attracted me to my wife are things that any woman can do. Now, as a person with cerebral palsy, you are disabled. I mean, it's not a secret. You're disabled. And, I mean, you can call that a disadvantage, but the way I see it, it is your only disadvantage. And, at least you can say it's understood up front. You're not hiding it. It's just there. But I have been in the dating world for some time, or I was before I got married.
Yes,
I got married. But
no more dating for you.
No more dating for me. Ever. But from my experience with dating women and from what I've seen, my friends go through, my male relatives go through, women out there, they have issues too. They're just hidden. And,
everybody does.
Yeah. But I've been out there, and the dating scene out there is treacherous. And it is fraught with, what you call obstacles.
Sweetie, it's obstacles.
Obstacles. So, but these things didn't apply to Megan. So, I mean, the two biggest things for me were that, I felt like I could trust her, And with her, there's no drama. So, hey, you pay that bill today?
Yeah, I took care of it this morning.
Okay, I believe her. Well, so contrary to what popular culture would have you believe, drama in a relationship is not normal. So, as a woman, the best thing you can do is just not cause drama.
Or
Be
man.
some or man. I don't know anything about dating a man though, handicapped or otherwise. So.
Well, maybe I'll do a second video.
Okay. So I mean, just don't cause drama. Be someone you can trust, and that alone puts you at an advantage. Now there is one tip I do want to point out, and that is to be upfront with your condition. I mean, just any person you're trying to talk to that you might be romantically interested in, make sure they know what your condition is, and I mean, make sure they know what is to be expected. Make sure they know, do you need help to the bathroom? Are you going to die from it? Can you still get pregnant? Things like that. Of course, I know the answers to these questions, because I asked her.
Well, and you don't have to be afraid to talk about yourself, because most people will be afraid to ask you. They don't want to offend you. They don't want to seem ignorant.
And they'll be embarrassed to ask.
Yes, exactly. So just be upfront about it. Don't worry about what they think of you, because what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to say no? Okay.
Yeah. And that's another thing, I would point out, is that if someone knows the name of your condition, and if they're really interested in you, they're going to look it up themselves. That's also what I did. I learned, I learned spastic diplegic cerebral palsy. I looked it up myself, to figure out, what might be expected and what kind of surgery she might have had. That's before we were even dating.
Yes, I was very impressed.
But yeah, I was very proactive. I looked it up myself. I knew more about the condition than she did. Maybe. I don't know.
Pretty close.
Yeah, but you have to understand, people aren't going to ask. They're embarrassed to ask. They don't want to offend you.
They don't know how to ask.
Yeah, they don't know how to ask. But there is something else I wanted to talk about, though. Another reality of being disabled, and let's say you are in a relationship. A lot of times the person who is disabled is afraid of being a burden on their partner. I mean, if you're disabled, like this, you can't work, you can't drive, you may or may not be getting a monthly disability check, your mobility around the house might even be limited, and so there's some stress about what you can do to contribute to a household. There are things you can do, though. I have a full-time job. Actually, I'm working overtime right now. I work 50 hours a week. So, a lot of stuff that needs to be done, I can't do by myself without taking time off of work. But Megan does these things. Certain things like, if one of us needs to go to a doctor, she'll make an appointment. She'll call, make an appointment. If the noisy cat back here, if the cat needs to go to the vet, she can call the vet, make an appointment for there. And she can also handle financial matters. She can call the bank if we need to have something done at the bank. She can do the online banking thing. So yeah, there's actually still quite a few things that you can do, even if you are disabled, to contribute to the household. Especially if you got a busy husband like me. So.
Yeah, I do it all, man.
Yeah, she does it all.
Can you imagine how much I'd get paid? I'm expensive.
I pay you with love. So, yeah, it's if you're disabled, you're looking for a relationship, or you're in a relationship, it's understandable, if you feel like the odds are stacked against you. Coming from me, a guy finds a woman he can trust, and can help, at least do a little bit around the house, clerical things. You know, it's not a burden on me, you know, to have to help make entire shoes, to help her shower, to clip her toenails. You know,
Hey, I can't move my feet.
I know. I mean, it's not a burden on me.
I know. You're very sweet.
Well, you know that, but they need to know that. Oh. So yeah, I mean, she's disabled, but she's my wife. I love her. I wouldn't have it any other way. So, so this is just my point of view, you know, from an able-bodied man who is married to a disabled woman. So hopefully we've provided some insight, you know, as to how to get into a good relationship, how to build a good relationship. So,
how to be okay talking about yourself to people you may be interested in.
Yes, definitely.
And to be okay if somebody isn't interested, doesn't want to deal with it. You know what? It's all right, because they're just not worth your time in that case.
Yeah, so.
They're much more, you know, caring and generous, loving people out there.
Yeah, so love is out there, and you can find it.